Hoo-ah! Test, test, 1 2 1 2. Hoo-ah! This is the Janjo live stream. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Dio-sama, what is up? First chatter on stream. Congratulations. Just started. Hopefully I'll have a fun stream this time. I'm hoping. Trying to get my friend to watch JoJo. I'd be honest trying to get everyone to watch JoJo's. For being real. What am I doing today? Well, the stream title says, "What if GOAT format had more cards?" The thumbnail says, "Expanding GOAT format." So this is an exercise I want to try out. I'm usually not one for making, like, faux formats, and I'm not trying to make faux formats per se. But the idea behind this stream is to just kind of have some fun. Let's see, what if we added more cards to GOAT to not make it a different format, because I don't want to do that, because then it wouldn't be GOAT, but just to expand the card pool where it still is more options, not necessarily shift the meta, but just have more options around. Perhaps more like anime cards, cards that exist in the OCG. Maybe not some of the broken ones, but some of the ones that would ultimately be harmless, I think. I started thinking about this about a week ago, about doing it, and I felt like it'd be a fun stream topic, because I don't know what other tier lists to do at the moment, honestly. And Go format's a prime time to do something like this, because that is like the crescendo of retro Yu-Gi-Oh! I got pissed off when I noticed that Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon wasn't in GOAT. Yes, not only was Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon not in GOAT, but Blue Eyes Shining Dragon was. So you cannot summon Blue Eyes Shining Dragon anytime before 2006, which is when Ultimate came out. So honestly, like, just kicking it off. So I'm going to try and fit this entire page of monsters. I want to fit this all of monsters, extra deck. I want to add as many of, like, these, like, fun cards. And Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon surely is one that should be in. I don't think it breaks anything. I think with Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Also, by the way, I have enabled Super Chat and Super Emotes, I think they're called. Super Stickers. So Super Chats, that's a fun way to support me, huh? Couldn't believe it wasn't enabled before. But yeah, I don't think Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon affects anything. We already have Master of Oz, so what is a few extra attack? Master of Oz. Comparatively, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is a light type, which is good. Better stats all around. I don't think the God cards... I have a pre-made list of just cards. Obviously, I don't think I can add all of these, potentially, but I have at least 78 cards I wrote down that I think would be fun, and this is not even counting what you all in the chat could ask for this list. But the God cards, I think one thing we can definitely look at to expand GOAT format is speed duels. Notably the Battle City box. Because that one was such a big thing, and it was very, like, retro Yu-Gi-Oh! It's GOAT, well, not quite GOAT, but it's Dual Monsters era Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think we can look at a lot of the releases and see, okay, what worked for that could work in Goat. Like, I don't think I want to add Union Hanger. That feels a bit much. Because even Union Hanger and Speed Duels, you can't really use all of its stuff, I don't think. At least, like, I mean, you couldn't use it to the max potential that it did in the TCG when ABCs were a thing. I mean, you theoretically could add Union Hanger, I suppose. Would make Xyz useful. Because what it does is you just add a light machine union, which is, I think, like, Y Dragon Head. We'll have stuff for here right now, just to theory craft. Y Dragon, that's a light union, and the other one would be Z Metal Tank, also light. Yeah. So you'd be able to add at least these two as the machine light union monsters, which is very specific. Because that's one thing it would be great to do in this, would be to improve really shitty decks. Because we all need to add more chaos support, you know. Made an XYZ's Dragon Cannon deck, and it's pretty good considering it's a rope deck. Like, made for GOAT format. Love to see that. Definitely share in my Discord or something. I feel like we've talked a lot about XYZ Dragon Cannon in past streams. I wish my roommate was a chiropractor. So you basically would be able to add one of these to jabronis. And then if you normal summon one of them, or special summon them, if they are, you can target one of them and equip basically the other one from your deck. But you cannot special summon it. So I think, honestly, Union Hanger is pretty fair in GOAT. So what other would you add? I mean, could be a way to kind of cheese out chaos monsters, but you need to be playing really suboptimal cards, all things considered, compared to what a chaos turbo deck would be. So you know what? I'm going to say let's add Union Hanger. Let's make that the first card, or I guess second, aside from Blue Eyes Ultimate. I think Union Hanger is kind of interesting. Would make Union decks a little bit more viable. I mean, sure, you don't quite have great access to X-Head Cannon unless we added Unexpected Die. I think so. The deck's premise is to banish a bunch of Xyzs to summon the fusions. I think he's returned to the dimension to bring them back. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I definitely would love to see that. Like a I wonder if you do something with that with like a Reasoning Gate deck too. Because like, yeah, there are like Bazzi return decks, but you don't see them that often. Even though I'm pretty sure didn't it win the GOAT Worlds last year, Bazzi return deck. I feel like Unexpected Die may be a bit too good for GOAT. Because, yeah, normal monsters kind of suck, but, like, what are the popular normal monsters in GOAT format? Yo, Necromancy, what's up? Unexpected Die, you think could be too strong? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of, like, examples, because I get the feeling it'd be too broken, because your opponent could just be running, or you or your opponent, whoever, could be running, anything that's like light or dark, or just to get something for monarchs that might be too busted. One card though I definitely have to add just for me. Zera the Mant. gotta add this guy. He's on stream. What's up, RBK? Mechanical Chaser is in GOAT format. He is legal. I speculated on Rescue Rabbit and GOAT format, but dealing 30-100 one turn is really strong. Yeah, I mean, we do have Rescue Cat decks, so like the Rescue thing is there. So Rescue Rabbit cannot be special summoned from the deck, which is fine. You can't Giant Rat it out, and then you summon 2 low-level normal monsters with the same name. Yeah, it's probably better left. Oh, off unexpected die. Yeah, yeah, you could get something. You could do some cheeky machine deck with that. What was the other card I was thinking of? Ties of the Brethren. This is kind of a similar card that potentially could work. Oh, what's up, Sauce? Oh, you use other XYZ support Dio. Or are you saying your deck user? Are you saying we should add those in? There are a lot of cool OCG cards. Ties of the Brethren, you pay 2,000 life points, and you target one level 4 or lower monster you control. So you cannot special summon any other monsters, which is kind of whatever in GOAT, but you're paying 2,000 life points. With the same type, attribute, and level, but with different names. And you cannot conduct your battle phase. I think Ties might be kind of interesting. I don't know how busted it would be with Chaos. Or just, like OTK decks. I mean, you can't even attack, so I feel like that's... What do y'all think of a card like Ties of the Brethren? It sort of has a spirit of something like Rescue Rabbit, where you can get out more monsters from your deck, but it needs to be very specific ones. Yeah, I've seen a few people make their own sort of expanded stuff. I'm not gonna create like a ban list for these things or change my current list. This is just like cards in general. But yeah, it's really cool that more people have done like more thought out things. This is just a fun exercise more than actually creating a format, hindsight format. Let's put Ties of the Brethren here. I'm curious what y'all think. I think it might be fine. Mainly because you are paying a lot of life points, you can attack, and they can't be the same monster. So you need to run like a very specific kind of build for it, because they need to be the same type, attribute, and level. Which might not be asking for too much. Also, what's up, Hagarin Metal? Hagarin? If you're wait for the game back and forth. What's up, Stave Danger? They do in the sense that if you're both playing like control decks, because control decks are, fairly back and forth, I suppose. So look up Cyber Commander. I mean, there's a lot of vanilla OCG monsters. I don't think Cyber Commander would be like the one I would want to add. I mean, yeah, it's cool because he's from the anime. But there's like a million of those, like Fiend Kraken or Pot the Trick, or what's the Ancient Jar, Gate Dig, Tenderness. Like there's so much. I feel like these are like the last things we would want to add. Generic stuff. But I wasn't only looking at like the Dual Monsters cards or OCG cards. I was also looking at like some future cards I think would be kind of fun. One of them, cards that like don't get any play in modern Yu-Gi-Oh because they're released way too late. I think Finite cards is one of those. I think this one could be really fun in an old format. The hand size limit of each player becomes 3. It kind of screws both people, but also kind of locks some stuff down if you're trying to do like combo heavy things. I think Final cards would be really fun. Iatos. What's up, Spence Chocolate? Goat needs Toon Dark Magician Girl. What about Ojama supporting Goat? Ojamas. Also, I would agree with Toon Dark Magician Girl, though. Absolutely. Having one that can just attack right away is really nice. Also, speaking of its effect, also with Dark Magician Girl, this is another card I definitely 100% would add. Magician of Black Chaos, so we can use the effect. The full effect of the Magician Girls. I do have like a few ritual stuff. I don't know how much of them I actually want to add, but definitely these two. Yeah, let's look up Ojamas right now. So Go format currently has Ojama Trio, which really isn't Ojama support. We have Oja Magic, right? And then we have these Delta Hurricane and Ojama King. Do we have Knight? I think we just have Ojama King. Yeah, honestly, it blew my mind. Like, for whatever reason, I had one of those Mandela effects that Black Chaos was in older format Yu-Gi-Oh! I think because I kept seeing Dark Magician of Chaos. No Oja Magic. I feel like Oja Magic should be in for sure. Because there's great ways like just to use it. I mean, Ojamas isn't going to be anything warping. What's up, Charles Wolfgang? I like the Doriado picture. The Dryad. Otherwise, well, we got Ojama Country. Yeah, Ojama Country would be kind of fun. You just send one Ojama card, and then you basically get a 3k attacker. Gives you sort of better condition to play Ojamas. Dark, what's up, Hobby? And RPK. Those are good. What are the other Ojamas? Ojama Blue. I'm not sure about red and blue. Red feels a little dumb. Just given how Ojama's work, and blue feels like that kind of would get the point away from getting Oja Magic, which essentially adds all into your hand anyway. 5 5-headed dragon. Yeah, 5-headed dragon would be awesome, I think. Another 5k. It has to be fusion summoned too, so you're not going to just Cyberstein it out. Which also reminds me of Dragon Master Knight. If we're adding Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, another card that has to be fusion summoned, so you can't cheese it out, I think would be really fun. Gives you a reason to play vanilla BLS or like fusion substitute cards. Just having some like real heavy hitter fusions, I think, would make fusion decks really fun than what we have. And while we're on fusions, I do have some I would like. My thing isn't organized at all, but Meteor Black Dragon. He was in my sort of tease the other day. Of course, you gotta have like a Forbidden Memories card. Yeah, we could potentially add Dragon's Mirror, though. Do you think that would? How impactful would Dragon's Mirror be to like a meta of this? Again, not that I want to warp the meta, but I'm trying to keep a relative game health in mind. But if we are adding him, we do have to add Meteor Dragon, which is whatever. Yo, what's up? Agadine? Am I close? Gadgets would be interesting. But I know gadgets were kind of weird when they came out. They were really hyped up, and it's cool that you can add one to your hand, but it might be a bit, and they are Earth, so it's not chaos. It might be a bit too much just being able to constantly add cards. Like I feel like they'd be in a lot of decks because you can just get this out with pretty much a lot of cards or search it out. And that was kind of why a lot of other cards like Fissure and Smashing Ground were limited in like later GX formats. Because then you just be running like Gadget Chaos decks or something, which is really weird sounding. Because you just add like 4 of each, or I mean 2 of each. Kunai with Chain or Mystical Wrath panel cards. I'm enjoying. Go for the Legend. Go for the Lightning. Yeah, there's so many cards. Again, I have like a giant list, and a lot of these are on my list because I'm just thinking about. There's a million cards. Like, there's way too many. Guilford, though. Guilford would be cool. He was released like right after Goat ended. And if you do get 3 tributes out, he destroys all he Raigekis your opponent's field, which I think is fair. Like if you're running like some cheeky deck, I think Lightning could be fun. Yeah, and we're talking about the tins. Like obviously I don't want to add Exarion, but I think Rocket Warrior would be a fun card in decks. Like it's a solid light card with a interesting effect. The Panther Warrior is the one that really tickles my fancy because I think this just with the prevalence of Scapegoat, like you would see this in Go Control decks potentially. Like a flat 2K attack. You can get rid of a Snatch Steal monster if you don't want your opponent gaining life points or just for removal. You know, it has stuff it could do. Yeah, a classic Joey combo. It does have stuff it could do. I think out of those tins, these 3, and not Exarion, would have been really fun. Again, these are also cards that I swear to God were in GOAT at one point. Just because they are so close and they're classic cards, you would have thought. Because they weren't new cards in like the OCG. Like they've been around for years. Do you ever get? Did we give any more thought to Ties of the Brethren? I might say leave it out, but I'm fine for whatever. Is Kunai? No, yeah, Kunai Chain was released a little bit later, wasn't it? I know this was a fairly prominent card in early-ish Speed Duel formats. So did this thing ever get... Okay, cool. With Kunai with Chain. I was a Rocket. I did move. I officially got here... Was it the 1st of May? Or April 30th. That's been pretty good. Got my place around here. I don't have a bed yet. I do have a Shiki Buton I've been sleeping on, which I really like. But it's going pretty good, I'd say. Yeah, I work from home, so I'm just kind of here all day anyway. But I got the master bedroom. I have a roommate here. Unfortunately, doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh. It's unfortunate. One day I'll open my own Duelist Kingdom. Very expensive though, but I try not to bog that down too much because at least I can afford it. But there goes all my savings. I haven't bought many Yu-Gi-Oh cards in a hot minute because of that, but you know, I think all things considered went pretty well. Everything came in one piece. Nothing broke. Yeah, there are a million cards. With Kunai with Chain, switches monster defense position, and monster gains 500. This could be interesting. Because it doesn't destroy the monster. That's like attacking into you. And you do get like a nice attack boost. Yeah, let's add Kunai with Chain. I think that could be kind of interesting. Why not add them? We still good? Saw a weird thing with my internet for a second. Yeah, I would definitely add Chimera and Baphomet. And again, why not? I think if we get to the point where we want to start cutting some cards for just cards we think are better, that might be one, though. And we do have a lot of Fusion deck cards. I think, was it Mystical Sand? This card, I think honestly would have been really fun in GOAT format. Like, we have all the materials for that. Why not have it? Zombie Warrior. Although we don't have Battle Warrior. I don't think I want to add Battle Warrior for that card. What's up, Goldstorm? Des Volskov. Immediately past the cutoff point for GOAT. Barnes, if I good enough. Let's take a look at this once prize card. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, in which it is a 1 tribute monster, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Each time a normal or quick play spell card resolves, this card gains 200 attack until the end of the turn. I mean, Deathful Scoff would probably be fine, I think. Like, it's not such a big boost. It's only 200, and it's only until the end of the turn. Like, how big is it going to get to... Like, they need to activate, or... Between both players, you need to do a lot for it to get... You could do some, like, cheeky OTK thing. You could use it in, like, Reasoning Gate. I think that might be the best place for Deathbolt Golf. Because you're activating, like, a metric ton of spell cards, and it does get a big attack boost. I could see it being a staple in Reasoning Gate, honestly. And then if it's towards monsters, that's another 500 damage. It could hit over like Monarchs and stuff. That's true. But at the same point, like, you might as well be running Zaborg if you want to destroy stuff like that, which is also a light type or light attribute. Yeah, let's throw in this cool looking dragon. I think he's kind of dope looking. There's 7 likes. We're getting close to 10. Getting close to 10. Just adjusting this a little bit. Ooh, okay, there we go. All right. So let's see here. What are some other fusion cards that we didn't get? We can get out Crimson Sunbird. Might as well add that. This is actually kind of a neat card in the OCG. I think a lot of the other ones we can't summon. Skilgon. Yeah, we don't have Snake Hair. I'm not about to add Snake Hair. Also Snake Hair. Do we just add Snake Hair just to get 2 more fusions? Is that too much to ask? I'm kind of tempted just to have them in the game. Snake Hair kind of sucks. I mean, yeah, it does suck, but then you get these 2 really cool cards. Is that asking for a lot? What are some other ones? Was it Barox? We have Frenzied Panda, right? Beast King Barbaros. I don't think I'd add Beast King Barbaros. I think it's a better Fusilier, and I don't want to kind of outclass Fusilier. Frenzied. Oh yeah, we got this guy. He was like Magic Ruler, I think. What was the other one? I don't think we can do Aqua Dragon. Yeah, way too many crap cards. Unfortunately, I love his look. Same thing with Kaiser Dragon. Kaiser Roll Dragon. We don't have Fairy Dragon. I think Snake Hair is like the max of what I want to add for like a fusion for potentially get 2 fusion monsters, but they both suck anyway. I mean, really. At least with these, we can actually summon. And at least, like, Baphomet goes into a monster that has an effect. Baphomet has its own effect, too. Let me refer to the list a little bit more. Let's see what else we potentially add. I think Preparation of Rites would be really cool to add in GOAT format, just to help out ritual decks, which are pretty crap. Like, the best is Relinquish, and that's not going to push anything. But if you have a card that can at least search something out and get you back a spell, I think is worth enough to run of. I mean, probably not pre-prep, which is kind of just like a better version of this in some regards. But I think for Go format, we don't want to add anything that's too complicated. Fusion deck is looking pretty healthy, though. Vorse Raider, possibly. I don't know how much Vorse Raider would really do in regards to making format any more interesting. Like, we already have Gemini Elf, which, yeah, it's not as good in Vorse in regards to defense, but, like, I mean, it's like not adding Gilgarth, you know, it's, I don't know, like, Vorse Raider would be kind of neat just to have it in. Oh yeah, if this one goes pretty well, I mean, if people give me more ideas for streams like this, potentially I will. Thanks for joining though. Rest of this will be, you know, you can watch this later on my live playlist or a live tab on YouTube. One card I was looking at though. Oh no problem. I appreciate all the suggestions. Give me a chance to talk about these cards. Blue Flame Swordsman. Hannibal Necromancer I kind of like because it's like a worse breaker, but you can get rid of face-up trap cards, which I think, you know, it has like solid defense. Yeah, I think it's worth something. Let's look up Blue Flame Swordsman. Once per turn in the battle phase, card one other warrior type monster you control. This card loses 600 attack, but the other one gains 600. When this card you control is destroyed by your opponent's card, you can banish from your graveyard and target one fire warrior monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target. What are some fire warriors this would work with? There's Command Knight. It's kind of neat in regards to you can boost another monster that has attack. And then you can recur. What would you want to use this with, though? Can we, let's see. Warrior. Fire. Goat cards. Yeah, not very much. Like, the one you probably would only be using this, unless you're running some really janky Ultimate Baseball Kit deck, would be Command Knight. The A forces. The A. The A dash force? What are you talking about? I feel like I know what you're talking about. The A... That's dumb. The A dot forces. What the hell? What the hell does that mean? All war type monsters you control gain 200 attack for each warrior monster. I mean, I'm surprised people don't try this out a little bit more. Though with him... Yeah, I don't know. What do other people here think about Blue Flame Swordsman? Kind of on edge about it. It'd be kind of cool to have a Flame Swordsman. Playable. Would it make a warrior deck interesting enough? Because Command Knight already gives like a 400 boost, which is still decent, and it has its other effect. And people still barely, almost never play this guy. Keep him on deck for now. Let's see here. Ooh, a boss monster I would like to see. Be a Mass Beast Guardius. Yes, you have to tribute 2 monsters, including one of the vanilla mask monsters. And then you can send, basically use a Snatch Steal, which I think is fun. The right setup. I mean, I could definitely see something going on with it. But you're essentially getting like a 1-turn. Although its boost isn't until the end of the turn, though. Although it loses it right away, though. So like once you use it, it's Blue Flame Swordsman goes to 1200. So you can theoretically get his effect off 3 times. And in an opponent's battle phase, that could potentially, if you do it from like your turn to your opponent's, that could be like 1200. Which is interesting. Yeah, okay, I'll add him. I think you all are convincing me. I think there's enough interesting thing. But with Duskarth, you have to add Mask of Remnants. Essentially just a weirdly activated Snatch Steal. Yeah, I'll add Blue Flame Swordsman. Why not? Why not? I feel like there's some fusion monsters I'm missing. Another one I think is kind of weird that we never got in an older format is Skelengel, which is essentially just like a shit Dekoichi, but it was part of the first lineup of flip monsters. I don't know why we didn't get it. It seems really odd that like it should have been in Yugi Kaiba format or something, or some tournament pack 1 or 2. You know, it's just it always kind of bugged me that card was missing. I don't want to add too much fusion or like elemental hero stuff. Can we get to 10 likes? We're getting close. I don't want like many elemental hero stuff just on the basis of it's, you know, it's just more GX. Like it's already kind of weird that Lost Millennium is in GOAT format, but that's just how it that time period wasn't the end of DM era. It was just that was the last set. I wouldn't Blue Flame special summon himself. What's up, Nicholas Ota? Yeah, if you have more than one in the graveyard, yeah, you could use him again. Okay, I think you all convinced me. Let's see, in this, I mean, maybe we could add a couple E-heroes, but I don't want to make this too, like, GXE would be my concern. Maybe, like, a Blade Edge, or, like, Bubble Man, you know, like, some, like, classic ones. I mean, Blade Edge, I think, would be neat for just a non-fusion boss monster, so to speak, for E-heroes, but then it's such a terrible card on its own. In like GOAT format, it doesn't really have much stuff to help it out with. Like, I think Mariner would be kind of fun to have if we added Bubble Man. Let's put some of these on deck here. Because we have, like, the 4... Like, we could even add Electrum to the mix. Necroshade, Blade Edge, and Bubble Man. Mudball Man would be another one. I guess we could technically add Neo Bubble Man. Bubble Burn. Would that affect the meta too much? Rampart Blaster could be one we add. I don't want to add like all the optional ones. Necro Shade. I feel like if you add Blade, you might have to add Necro Shade, but I also don't want to add like too much. Tempest, I could see Tempest. Maybe more so than like Electrum. Even like a Steam Healer. Also could potentially do Steam Healer. And this is just like adding, like, let's say, just for space reasons. We add these. I kind of don't want to add Neo Bubble Man just because I don't want to put too much E heroes on this. But I think that's a fair amount. And then we could add Mariner, which could be fun. Speed Duel's got Tempest, which I think would be fun too. And it gives more reason to run some of them. Wildheart? Maybe. Unaffected by... Well, we have other cards that are like that, right? Like we have Mirage Dragon and Pitch Black Werewolf, which I remember on a very short amount of time saw some meta play, but it wasn't anything worth... I don't think it would affect anything if he was in... Let's just go ahead and just add these guys. Do we want to add Electrum? He has like all four of them. He does fiddle around with the Banish Zone. And we did get him in McDonald's pack too, which wasn't too long after. Though 4 and 4 might be fine. What would be a Wild Heart fusion? There's Wild Edge, Wild Wingman. There's like the Necro Shade one. I don't want to do Plasma Vice. We could even, in theory, instead even do like the manga GX stuff, but because Nova Master would be kind of fun. Honestly, we could even add like Nova Master, even if we don't run. Like the flame one, Necroid Shaman potentially. What's the one I'm thinking of? I think that's what I'm thinking of. Dark Bright now. Core. Yeah, because Nova Master, you would have to be running like some fire monster, which would be like Burstinatrix or something. So I'm gonna, let's see. If we add one Wild Heart fusion, what would we add? I feel like we might want to remove one of these. I feel like my OCD is like kicking in here. I kind of want to do like 4 and 4. Shining Flare Wingman, huh? Gains 200 half for each elemental. Destroy the monster best in the graveyard. I don't want to add Absolute Zero. I think he's too busted. Flare would be kind of Shining Flare would be a really fun boss monster for E-Heroes, I'm not gonna lie. Yo, YGO Vintage, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Shining Flare would be really fun to look at as a boss monster. I think more than Electrum. So I'm gonna... What does Necro Shaman even do? Let's see. Has to be fusion summoned. When a special summon target one monster your opponent controls destroys it, and special summons one monster from your opponent's grave to their side of the field. It's more useful than it looks. Oh, we'll probably get to the god cards. We'll probably get to the god cards. I really love GX era E-Heroes. I think they're so fun, just how much variety you can have with them. Yeah, I don't think Wild Wingman. I think that might be too much if you can just discard your hand to bust the field. Wild Edge. Wild Edge might be a little bit more fair because it does have an Asura Priest effect. Which really don't have much of that at all, aside from Asura Priest. Maybe like one or two other cards, I think. I love to build like a classic E-Hero deck. Like something of like a GX format, like maybe like a Perfect Circle format kind of thing. Trooper format. So we have like the Bubble Man Fusion. I can probably leave these out for right now. And Tempest was like the 3, and then we can have like the 4. And then which... let's say we cut those out. Noah Master would be really good, though. But which one should we add Wild Edge or Necroid Shaman? Because E-Heroes are kind of bad. I mean, they're really bad in GOAT format. I kind of feel like we should just go ahead and just dump them all. I think if we need to cut some E-Heroes, we can probably find one to cut. But I feel like Nova Master would be good just so you can have something that could potentially get you some card advantage. While this one you can have like the Wild Heart, Necro Shade, Blade Edge, like the Bubble Man fusions. Like at least with this roundup of 6, you can make use of these new 4 ones at the very least. Are there any other hero cards we might want to add? Probably not. Like, they're all generic warrior searches. Yeah, they're all pretty neat. Miracle Fusion. Well, that's... You can banish monsters from your field or graveyard. This might be fine, honestly. Because we aren't running anything too absurd. And you are having to, like, banish your stuff. Although, that would make for an interesting deck using something like Dimension Fusion. Or Return from a Different Dimension. Yeah, this could make heroes kind of interesting. I think that make it pretty interesting. Got such weird stats. Emergency Call, where we have Reinforcements of the Army, which adds a chunk of them. I don't think we need Emergency Call. Because Rhoda's at 2 in this format, right? So... And you got Sangan. I think it might be fine. Unless everyone else thinks so, but... let's see... I have so many cards on my list here. Oh, I remember another one I kind of wanted to add. That alligator sword and alligator sword dragon. What do y'all think? Another card that surprised me wasn't in the TCG at this point. Although I don't know if you're ever really going to get its effect off. No, we can't add that Future Fusion would be because it would Future Fusion would be like the original effect if we did that. I would think, and if it wasn't, then it's too bad to run. I think the problem with Alligator Sword Dragon is that most of the time your opponent's probably playing Light and Dark, in which you'll probably never get to attack directly with it. Yeah, though they are making a new Future Fusion card that was just announced the other day. I don't think they said what the effect is, but let's take a look at the Egyptian God cards. I think we saw with also 12 likes. Holy shit. We get to 15? That'd be wild. I think with Obelisk, with Egyptian God cards we saw in the Battle City box for speed duels, the only one we really saw make any impact would be Obelisk, and that was really for just the side deck, just for a big punching card. Because we have established like a 3 tribute monster with Guilford, which does have the Raigeki effect. But this guy has his other effect. Is Obelisk kind of a shitty Guilford? I mean, yeah, you get way more attack. So I think honestly, I think all the God cards are fine. You know, Slifer requires like a lot and depends on your hand, which, I mean, we are adding finite cards, so if that's really such a big trouble. Winged Dragon, I'm not going to add any of the other Sphere Motor stuff. Maybe Immortal Phoenix. No. Because the generic one, you pay life points to give it attack. You can pay 1,000 to destroy one monster on the field. It's fine. Honestly, the God cards are all fine. I think what we saw with Battle City is fine. I think that tells us more than we need to like add into a format like this. We were pretty light on trap cards, though. I think we need to start adding some trap cards. Any trap card recommendations? Moisture Creature. Yeah, we do have Moisture Creature already in the game too. Harpy's Feather Duster. So yeah, I mean, more of a reason to add Guilford. I mean, hey, look, Sphere Mode is such a generic removal effect. I'm not shocked. There was that one Slifer card I think some people are speculating that lets you like draw a bunch. Yeah, although you only get him for one turn though. I mean, if you're doing that, you're probably running like in current GOAT format, you do have Steingate decks that essentially get you a similar thing. Would this make Obelisk too powerful, you think, Necro? I think Sphere wouldn't be as busted as it is in modern formats just because of the speed of the game, but I think Lava Golem is enough. So with Obelisk, maybe Obelisk is too much. I don't know. Reason Gate does make it kind of interesting, but it's also an Egyptian God card, though. Aren't they supposed to be busted? And if your opponent's scared of it that much, they can just call, what was it, 10? I mean, at least people play Reasoning Gate more, right? I mean, you don't see too many people play it. It's definitely more of a low, like more of like a rogue deck at this point. Like a rogue meta deck. I mean, yeah, especially if it's at one copy, which obviously would probably have to be. $4K is a lot in one turn. Yeah. I'd also feel weird not adding all three and just having two. Because, you know, Master of Oz does exist, you know. But of course, you need to use Cyberstein for that. Whereas Obelisk, you don't need to. Now, I do think Reason Gate decks definitely have potential to like win events, and I can't wait for the day when it does win like a bigger event, because I'm sure it will eventually. I think more people just need to play it. I just think people don't like playing it. But it's one of my favorite decks in GOAT format, which is like the Reasoning Gate strategy. Shoutouts to Mangoes Really Suck. Like, would Obelisk make Reasoning Gate 2 busted? Is the strategy Reasoning Gate does already, like, is it adding Obelisk too much to say that if you're using a GOAT format Reasoning Gate optimally, is Obelisk adding that much more power to it? Oh, sure, I love to add all the GOAT format or OCG exclusives, except I wouldn't, because then you're adding Crush Card Virus, you're adding Sixth Sense. Those are Victory Dragon would be legal. You're adding way more stuff than would be healthy for the game. Remember, OCG got a lot. Which, by the way, I am like 20-some pages in my OCG Series 3 script. It's so long. It's going to be my longest video. I don't know what it's going to be such a big project. If Obelisk special summon, you need to use Obelisk that turn. Yeah, but again, the thing with Reason Gate, though, unless you're doing like a more grindy deck, which most people aren't, you want to try an OTK as soon as you can. In which the idea of Obelisk is to kind of not do that. And even still, you have cards to get him back, potentially. Things like Monster Reincarnation, Demok could just get back revival spells, like Premature Burial. You could use Premature Burial or Call of Haunted, and then use Giant Trunade for that. So you have options in like more than one turn. Yeah, I'm kind of, I was originally like pretty confident on Obelisk, but now you got me thinking. Would it break the game? I think what it comes down to. I think if it's one thing, if it's good for Reasoning Gate decks, I think if it's another thing if it would be way too good for it, that it would completely shift the entire meta scene. That's the part I'm a little stuck on, not gonna lie. $14 likes, getting close to 15. Getting close to 15. What does Obelisk do? I think we can kind of safely say Slifer and Raw are fine, just because I think their effects are kind of weird. Though, honestly, Slifer may be even good, too. Because you can just have, like, Slifer on the field and reduce monsters' attack like crazy. Though Chaos is very prevalent. As is, like, DD Warrior Lady and Tribe and stuff. But those would just get destroyed. Unless you set DD Warrior Lady. Slifer is kind of like King Tiger. But you have to do way more to get it out. Because you need 3 tributes. But that said, there are plenty of destruction cards in the format. So I think that's fine. Again, 3 tributes, you're asking a lot for like 1 monster that otherwise kind of bricks. And it's sort of the same thing with Obelisk. Obelisk you would definitely be running in. I mean, you could run Slifer and Reason and Gate. I mean, you could even theoretically do like an Egyptian God Gate. But Obelisk, like, absolutely would want to run him in Reason and Gate. I think if your opponent's like really scared of it, they would just be calling 10 or something. I don't know. Yeah, Ra has to be tribute summoned. He's the only one that has to be tribute summoned. And depending on your life points, Ra may not even be like super useful. And it's 1,000 only destroys 1 monster on the field, so it's like whatever. I mean, we have Zaborg, we have XYZ Dragon Cannon, which is, I mean, it's worse, but this is an example. Yeah, I mean, I'm basing this like kind of off of speed duels, where Obelisk was the only one that saw play just as a big monster. Slifer is skeptical. I think it's 2,000 reduction effect is really good, but it is kind of a way to help you against those chaos decks in a way where you can reduce them to the point where you can attack over them. Although if they're setting it, or if they're like, you know, setting a, you know, they don't lose defense. So I think it's kind of a decent check for chaos monsters in a way. And again, like, you have to draw into it unless you're playing it in a Reason Gate deck, in which, you know, you might want to use all those cards in your hand, in which case it's not, you know, it's average at best. I think Slifer is ultimately fine. Yeah, with Raw, you have to pay as many life points as possible. Like, you don't get an option like in that if you decide to use its effect, in which you just have 0 attack. Raw's, they definitely neutered him compared to the manga, didn't they? What's everyone's thoughts? Okay, should or should we not add? Can I do a poll on this thing? I'm gonna do a poll in this Obelisk in this. Yay, nay. Let's start a poll here. See if this works. Yo, Shiny Dino, what's up? So we are adding cards to a theoretical expanded GOAT format. We're adding cards from like the OCG, from just the anime, manga, the later Yu-Gi-Oh, anything that not necessarily would completely change the meta, but would just make the GOAT format a little bit more, have a little more variety. That's the idea behind it. Got 7 votes in the poll. We currently have a poll on whether Obelisk the Tormentor should be in this format. And by the way, also, we hit 16 likes. It's very exciting. By the way, super chats are now enabled on my channel. That's a thing that wasn't enabled before. What's up, Zacharoni and Cheese? Oh, yeah, yep. We have Toon Dark Magician Girl in here. That's for sure. Adding some sort of benefit to tunes. Yeah, I thought this was kind of fun. I'm not the kind of person that wants to make like playable faux formats because then it wouldn't be the same format. But this is just more of just an experiment, just for fun, because I couldn't think of anything else to stream. I did a lot of tier lists, so a little bit different. We got 12 votes in. I'm just gonna end the poll. Enough people are saying that Obelisk should stay in. Vampire Hunter. Let's take a look at Vampire Hunter. Vampire Hunter, Simon Belmondo. It destroys a dark monster at the start of the damage step. Interesting. What's fair game as far as what sorts of cards can be added considered? No, we're adding any card that's in the game, really, aside from moving anything that's currently on like the GOAT list. So anything can be considered. I mean, it's pretty much up to us to decide if something would be too powerful to warp the meta. That's why we're kind of stuck on Obelisk for a little bit. I think most of the other cards have been fine in regards to like meta affecting, like something like Union Hanger or Preparation Rites. Rituals and unions already are pretty terrible, so giving them something would be nice. Vampire Hunter. I don't think that's too bad. I mean, it's more specific than like a Grand Mole. It is a warrior. Yeah, we can add Vampire Hunter. Why not? It's general. I don't. And I want to keep it also in like the spirit of GOAT format too. It's nothing too complicated. Let's look at Magician's Circle. Spellcast monster declares an attack. Each player summons one spellcaster for 2,000 less attack from the attack position. That could be interesting. What would you summon in GOAT? Kaiku, the Ghost Destroyer. Has to be in attack position. You could technically do like Magician of Faith if you have like a Tsukiyomi or Book of Moon. 17 likes. Can we get to 20 likes? Be exciting. So what's up, Nunez? Magical Dimension. Magical Dimension would be pretty cool too. Magician's, yeah. What exactly would we want to do with Magician's Circle? Getsu Fuma. This is a GOAT card, right? Fiend or zombie type monster. Yeah, so Vampire Hunter, just a dark type or dark attribute is kind of better. Not adding Trajodia. That card might be a little bit different, past DM era to be. Those hand traps are too powerful. Magical Dimension. Magical Dimension, I think, is kind of a fun card. Because you have to be running Spellcaster. Summon one from your hand. Danger monster on the field. I think this would be fun, for sure. So what's up, Tripper Tasker? Yeah, let me know what you all think about Magician's Circle. I think Magical Dimension would be good, because it's a way to pop a monster and then sort of... You still have to pay a card, but you can get out a higher level Spellcaster, which I think would make a Spellcaster deck much more playable. Lily, Dark Magician... Okay, Kaiku, Lily, Dark Magician Girl. And your opponent could potentially get stuff out too, but that seems kind of fair. You can also get out Skilled Dark Magician, I suppose, if you want to play that. Magical Marionette. What are the silent magicians? I think these are like right after GOAT format legality, right? These two. Video game promo, I believe. Let's see. Each time your opponent draws a card, gains a counter for 500. During your next standby after the 5th spell counter. That's a lot of cards you have to draw unless you use level up. They would have to like use like a Pot of Greed and a Graceful or something like that. Which in level 8, 3,500 attack affected by spell effects. I think that's pretty fair. It's like Horus in a way. I think we could add these. Yeah, let's add Magician's Circle. We definitely need more trap cards. We're a little trap light. What about this guy, Magical Arm Shield, Joey's card, the Gemini Elf. Yeah, you can do like a beatdown deck with it too. You can do like a skill drain, Spellcaster beatdown deck. That could be kind of fun. Not gonna lie. Magical Arm Shield. When your opponent declares an attack with control monster, target one face of the monster your opponent controls except the attacking monster. Control that until the battle phase. If you do, it is attacked instead. So your opponent's basically attacking their own monster. Oh, they would have to do that. They could also potentially be forced to get out a spy and attack mode as well. Arm Shield could be a little fun, I think. Have fun with the Joey card. Swift, Birdman, this is the one tribute one, right? Yeah. He giant Trunays when he hits the field. If he's tribute using a wind monster. I don't hate that. When did this guy come out? When did he come out? Dark Revelation. What's up, Jacob H? What's going on? Yeah, I'm trying to make them like purely suboptimal, but you just have maybe some. Oh, speaking of wind stuff, what about this guy, Samorg, Bird of Divinity? I'm trying to make like cards that aren't meta warping, but also aren't complete shite, or at least fun. Make it a little more, make it go format that feels a little bit more anime. You know what I mean? So this guy, you have to tribute with wind monsters as well. Each player takes 1,000 during their end phases while he's on the field. He's like a weird burn card. His damage increased by 500 for each spell trap the player controls. That could be kind of interesting. So essentially, if they have 500, it feels like it should be 200, right? Because if there's only 2 spell and traps on the field, although if you're playing this kind of deck, you're probably going to be running stuff like Swift Birdman Joe, but you already tribute summon Birdman Joe, and you. Oh yeah. I think what was that? Legacy of the Duelist? Was that the one that came out? Rock decks are pretty fun. God, yeah, this card really... I've always liked it, and I'm just like really looking into it. I mean, it's a nice beater. In theory, you're running a deck that clears stuff, but I mean, you have to use like heavy or some... Yeah. God, that... Essentially, you're probably rarely getting its second effect off. It really should have been like 200. like a 200. Yeah, I don't want to. Kind of don't want to add him just because of that. Another deck though I think would be really fun is Exod, because we have all the Sphinx cards that came like in the structure deck because they're part of the long. I think Exod would be really fun just to have him in the format. So 18 likes, getting close to 20. That's exciting. Yeah. $19 likes. Just about 20, eh? What was the other card from that set? Canyon. Canyon, if a rock type monster defense is attack double the battle damage to control attack of the monster. Canyon could be like another fun addition to like rock decks, like defense, stuff like that. Can never get Exod to work. I'm impressed with see what you come up with. Exod, I mean, it's definitely like a slower formatting GOAT, which is nice compared to when he came out in, was it 2006? Weed Out? So Weed Out. Pay 5 life points for all tackle 3 monsters. Maybe. I don't know if that would like do too much. I mean, potentially could be against like burn decks, but they probably have those in defense mode. Some later cards I kind of like though. Ducker Mobile Cannon. It just recurs level 4 monster, which the only thing we really have in the format does something like that is monster reincarnation. So something like that I think would make a fun flip monster. And what was the other one? I think it was Grativic or Gravitic Orb, which just change all monsters your opponent controls, which I think is kind of fun. I think that card could be a fun flip. Like these cards were released way too late. What was the other structure deck thing? It was do we add the other Guilford? The Legend. Guilford would be fun, and then I think what's the Dark Magician one? Well, Kane is pretty much there just because of Exod. If you're running like rock decks. We can always take Canyon out, though. Don't necessarily need it. What was a Dark Magician one? Dark Eradicator Warlock. Okay, you have to tribute Dark Magician. It has to be special summon that way. Normal spell inflicts 1,000. This is definitely looking different than I was expecting. A lot of these weren't even on my original list. What about this other classic card? Mystic Box. Target one monster your opponent controls, a monster you control. Destroy your opponent's monster, then your opponent gets yours. I think this could be kind of fun. You could do like some recruiter shenanigans with this. And it's a Yugioh card. We're almost at 20 likes. Just one like away. Who wants to be that special somebody? Yeah, here's a card. Virus Cannon. That is a trap. Virus Cannon, tribute any number of monsters except tokens, so you can't use it with Scapegoat. Your opponent sends an equal number of spells from their deck to the graveyard, or all their spells if slower than the tributes. This seems kind of interesting. I think Virus Cannon seems kind of fair. Because you have to get rid of, like, your valuable monsters to get rid of some spells. I don't think it'd make any significant impact. Unless, like, you know kind of a rough amount of, like, power spells. What about this card, though? What about Wetlands? All Aqua type water level 2 or low monsters gain 1200 attack. Hey, what's up, Preston? Good evening to you. Hope you're doing swell. Also, oh, we got over 20 likes. 21. Holy jabroni. That's exciting. Winged Karibo. Potentially. Wetlands, I think, is kind of neat because this works with what's the slime card? The what is the revival jam token thing? Oh my god, something generator. What the hell is this card? It's not generator, slime. Not. Oh, this is bugging me now. The one that great. What's the freaking jam breeding machine? What's up, Kata? So you can use like wetlands with jam breeding machine. Of course, you like have to summon each one, but essentially each turn you get a 1700 attack monster. Since the serpent is reptile, I believe. Yeah. So I think wetlands, there's not really many options, but I think just that alone is worth it. Yeah, what's up, Iron Giant Butthole? Yeah, no, Konami really needs to do more support for like Time Wizard formats. I feel like that's kind of a topic I wanted to make a video about. That's once in a while, but I don't know if enough people would be super interested in me just complaining about Konami. Let's take a look at Winged Karibo. Yeah, I mean, we got Waboku. I don't know. Frost and Flame Dragon. That's a spicy one. Banishing 1 fire and 2 waters. That's so bad. Every time I see this, it's so bad. There's also, what was the one? Desert Storm was another one. Yeah, I don't think it's even remotely playable, unfortunately. They really do need to make like an archetype that is more revolved around water and fire, I think. Or monsters that are treated as both, I think would be really cool. But at this moment, like, yeah, it's definitely really, like, the art's great, but, and its effect is fair, just discard, but it's also once per turn, like, that's so terrible. What about this card? Monster Reborn, Reborn. Target 3 monsters in your grave. Your opponent chooses 1. You special summon it, and then you banish the rest. Yeah, Amoeba was, I believe, Magic Ruler. Would Monster Reborn, Reborn be good enough for GOAT? I don't know if you necessarily need to add Gravekeepers. What do y'all think about Monster Reborn, Reborn? Should we add it? $23 likes. Return from different dimension strats. So what's up, Perfect Shed Ninja? There are definitely interesting strats you can do with it. Would this be busted in GOAT? Because you do get a free monster that your opponent chooses. So you could kind of force them to pick something good. And then you do banish the rest. Which does, I mean, though that does prevent you from potentially doing chaos plays. And stuff. You would have to be running some sort of strat thing. I think it's interesting. take a look at Gravekeeper. I don't think we should do Commandant, because I don't think we should add in any of the field searchers. Descendant might be okay. Yeah, feel free to send me on, like, Discord or something. I'm going to say no to Gold Sark. Recruiter might be interesting, too, because it's, like, it's a decent archetypal searcher. I think Descendant we could live with adding. Because it doesn't search out Spy, so you still have to be running, like, more of a pure Gravekeeper deck. And it does give you something to search with. Big Evolution Pill. Yeah, I'm not really feeling it. Trap of Darkness. If this was like a Duelist Genesis card, wasn't it? Or some 5Ds. Some kind of Earth aggro deck. Then banish a target. Okay, so if you have low life points, you pay, and then you banish trap, and then it copies one. That's kind of neat. It's very specific, but I feel like you do some sort of burn magic cylinder shenanigans with it. I don't know if we really want that. I feel like it feels like there's something degenerate you could do with it. I don't know how healthy that might be. Put it on deck. And I have like so many cards on my list too. We're definitely not gonna get to like all of these. Mausoleum of the Emperor. Isn't that already in GOAT format? Maybe not. I don't know if I really feel Mausoleum. I feel like Tribute Summoning is like fine enough. Let's see what else. What do we think about Copycat? Sorry, one monster. So essentially you can like copy like a BLS or something. It doesn't get any effects, but it's essentially kind of almost like a 1-for-1 removal. At worst. And it does require your opponent to have something useful to copy on field. I think Copycat could be kind of fun in the format. Kind of helps against some beatdown decks, potentially. But could also be kind of bad in other situations. That sounds balanced to me. Kind of want to start focusing more on like spell and trap cards. So we do have a heavy monster lineup. What else are we thinking? 23 likes currently. No super chat yet. If anyone wants first person to super chat can pick up card to get on here. Yeah, unfortunately, wasn't this like a World Championship card? I think it was released in like a World Championship pack. So you really didn't see like play at all in TCG formats. Another card I'm not gonna add, but it seems interesting to me is Acidic Downpour. This is essentially Earth Hate, which I don't think we really like need in the format, but I think it's kind of interesting as a card. The selection, well, I mean any card really. Moonmirror. No, I'm not gonna Moonmirror Shield. That card is a bit busted. Double summon, I think, would be too crazy too. Well, yeah, it's from the anime, so it's clear it has like that old card. It's from the OCG. Like, it exists in the OCG by this point. I don't think we're going to add the other XYZ stuff, because then we have to add V and W, which are pretty terrible, just for a kind of a bad fusion. I'd like to add more ritual stuff, but I don't think I can safely. Spell card or trap card. How about Hysteric Party? This was released in the same set as Samorg, where you discard a card to activate it. So you're technically going -1. Special summon as many Harpy Lady as possible from your grave. Oh, face-up card leaves the field, destroy those. I think this would be nice for like Wind Harpy decks. Because you don't have like a ton of great Harpy cards. I mean, there's Cyber Harpy Lady and Harpy Lady 1. Like Sisters. Oh, the selection. Oh, is that the one with like the arc on it? I think Hysteric Party would be pretty good for like those Harpy decks. Pay 1,000 life points to negate summon a monster as the same type of monster on the field and destroy it. Yeah, maybe. And I kind of feel like the stuff we have for like we can just use like Bottomless Trap Hole. I mean, it's nice to just stop a monster, like a Chaos monster. Yeah, I don't know. Floodgate would be interesting. Like, selection is not bad, all things considered. Beginning of the end, probably a little bit busted. Same type as monster. I kind of feel like warrior decks would make a lot of use out of this. Just how powerful warriors. I don't know. Floodgate does see a lot of play in speed duels. It's like a permanent Book of Moon. Which could be nice. So your opponent can't, like, abuse stuff. I kind of like that. It prevents too much abuse from, like, Tsukiyomi locks. Let's take a look at beginning of the end. 7 more darks in your graveyard. Banish 5 from your graveyard. Draw 3 cards. Yeah, probably. I could see some weird thing with, like, a Reasoning Gate deck potentially even using this. Or just, like, later in the game. That's just huge advantage. Yeah, you are banishing 5, but if you have at least 1, you could potentially still have Chaos plays. That might be a bit too scary. Trap lineup's getting a little bit healthier. Feeding it, giving it some water. God, there's so many cards. What do we think about Shield Crush? You destroy defense position monster. It's not like Smash and Ground or Lightning Vortex. You just choose defense and you get rid of it. Phantom of Chaos, I think that's too far gone. Shield Crush is kind of like another fun basic removal. Because we have plenty of those in the format that we don't see too much play. Like Smash and Ground, Fissure, and even Lightning Vortex to some degree. This would be nice to like run a deck if you don't want to just be blocked out by spies all the time. You know what I mean? God, there's so many cards. Here's a spicy one, though. What do we think about Metaverse? We have terraforming, and we do know in GOAT format, field spells are kind of bad. We rarely see them. I mean, aside from like Necro Valley and the occasional Gaia Power. It would be nice to just be able to have a little bit more access to them by activating one from your deck. I might keep away from more rituals. I know there's like a lot we could do. There's Javelin Beetle, uh, Fortress Whale, Super War Lion, Chakra, Garma Sword. We can only do too much. Yeah, you need 7 dark targets, but I don't know. It's like more draw power. I don't think we necessarily need. I think a lot of the cards we're adding is a little bit more searchy. I mean, if enough people think. Well, with Shield Crush, well, the thing with Noblemen is that they have to be face down, and you could potentially banish your own cards. Whereas this doesn't need to be face down. So if your opponent special summons, I don't know, BLS in defense mode, you can just immediately destroy it, and you can choose to destroy it too. Or you can get rid of their Magician of Faith and not banish your own, potentially. Yeah, Necro Valley. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. It does boost Necro Valley. I think the issue with that we could potentially see people running like non-Gravekeeper decks. Don't have it running. Could be doing Necro 24 likes, almost at 25. Like, you could potentially see people just running Necro Valley outside of Gravekeepers. But then they'd probably already be running Terraforming if they were anyway, you know? Which I feel like you don't really see people tech in Necro Valley anymore. Like, does it make it too bad? Like, does it make Gravekeepers more busted? Like, they're not busted anyway. They see, like, 1 top a season, maybe. Like, 2 tops a year. And the only thing we're giving Gravekeepers is Recruiter, which is, it's like, whatever. Would adding Metaverse be too much? That's the question of the day. Sounds to me like a poll. Poll time. Let's see what the community thinks about this, as we are almost at 25 likes. Secrets of the Gallant. I've never seen this card. Select 1 normal monster you control. When the selected monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent's turn, discards 2 random cards. I'm gonna say no. I think the last thing we need is more like duo stuff in a slow format. Especially when you do occasionally see like normal vanilla monsters. 4 votes in currently for Metaverse. Well, in the Metaverse poll, not for Metaverse. That is an interesting card, though. When was that released? Let's take a quick look. This was released Force of the Breaker, 2007. Huh. Interesting. Okay, yeah. I'll just end the poll there. That's enough time. So Metaverse is out. Let's see here. What other cards on my list? How about this card? The True Name. This is prime for our Egyptian god cards. Declare one name, activate the top card of your deck, and if there's a clear card, add it to your hand. So this essentially works with the Convulsion of Nature, which currently is technically banned on online play, to the format library anyway. And you can add to your hand or special summon a god from your deck. Otherwise, send it to the graveyard. You can activate once per turn. Would this make Obelisk too busted? Potentially. You can't use it on Rod. It has to be Slifer or Obelisk. I think True Main Knight, that might be a little bit busted. Zombie World. I do like Zombie World a lot. Because essentially shuts down Monarchs. And turns on Book of Life kind of immediately. My only issue would be, would it stop tributing summons too much? Because a lot of decks could just run, like, side deck this in against Monarchs and just completely obliterate it. I mean, yeah, Mask of Restrict exists. And it does prevent you from tributing too, but does this affect the game too much? Yeah, well, unfortunately, Obelisk has been decreed to stay. What do we think about Zombie World? We really don't see people side in Massive Restrict. But this card is searchable, though. You can use Terraforming on this. And just slap this down in some protection. If you have it, if you want to go all out on that. Although, if you know people are running this in a Monarch deck, you're probably going to be running more backward destruction anyway. So you can't tribute summon. Which is, that's better than, like, its zombification effect. Right. But I really love the Zombie World, just how simple it is, though. Is this another poll time? All right, let's ask y'all. Can we get to 25 likes before the end of the stream, whenever that is? Ooh, we have a challenge, 50-50. Three votes in. Anyone else would like to vote on this? I feel bad for how bad Samorg is. Five votes. Ooh, that was a big shift. Big shift. So, Mox Diamond. 25 likes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And anyone left for this? Ooh, another person in the Zombie World vote. 50-50. Who will be the decision maker on this? We need a decision maker on Zombie World. Should Zombie World be added to the expanded GOAT format card pool? Pretty cool looking list, honestly. Like, if Konami, like, released something like this, I'd be pretty hype. Well, we need one more vote. We need one more vote for this. For Zombie World. In the meantime, though. Oh, do you know what's a card that I think would be fun? I think someone may have mentioned this earlier. Dark Magic Curtain. 7 votes. Okay, there we go. Alright, Zombie World is not in. What do you think about Dark Magic Curtain? Pay half your life points. Special summon a Dark Magician from your deck, but you cannot summon other turns. But you can set. What's up, Elusive Mirror? Yeah, Samorg is just... I don't know what they were thinking. Like, minus 200 at the very least. But, like, 500, you just need 2 cards. And I get the whole playstyle is to get rid of and destroy spell and traps, but, like... Give me a break. I mean, this guy reduces 1,000 just by freaking flip summoning. Magic Current, I think, is fair and be fun for Dark Magicians. We have not talked about Damage Condenser. Take battle damage, discard 1 card, special summon 1 monster with your deck with attack less than or equal to the damage took in attack position. They could open up a few sets into GX and ban problem cards outright. They know are going to be a problem from the game history. They kind of can, and they kind of have. I mean, not outright ban cards, but limited cards that were confusing. Really like the gadgets, I think, is one of the confusing ones that they hit to 2, even though everyone only plays 2 of them. Or like Fissure because of gadgets, which also no one was playing them. Or even recently, I think Pod Desires at 2 was really weird because everyone also plays that at 2. And in the OCG in like 2001, 2002, like Ryoki was limited for a long time and no one knew why. Damage Condenser. This is kind of interesting. I think I play this in my Reptile deck, like Venom and Naga deck. It seems kind of fair. I mean, you have to discard a card, which could be beneficial. You can summon less than the battle damage you took. So it is very specific. It has to be an attack position. I don't hate it. Has to be battle damage. We talked about goats kind of early on. Goats, I think, would be too busted in it. Everyone would be running some sort of gadget engine just to get cards, because they get their effects off normal or special summoning. Release from Stone. Trial by Stone. Not seen this card. Select one of your remove from play rock monsters and special summon it. When this card is removed from the field, destroy that monster. Okay, so it's like a Call of the Haunted DDR for rock type monsters. Suppose you could use with like the Rock Spirit or Gigantus. Yeah, I don't think we should have like DDR, but this might be fair because just it's specifically rock monsters. My only concern is that is it too unique enough? Like, is it too specific? Whereas all these other cards are kind of more like a little bit more general. Yeah, Dark Magic Current seems fine. I think a lot of these is just adding like Wind and Spellcaster and non-chaos support, which is kind of funny. I feel like we need some sort of fusion support. I think we at least need to add some sort of fusion support. That's not like Gale Dogra or Monster Eye. Gale Dogra is unplayable. It's Monster Eye. You pay 1,000 to add Poly from your graveyard to your hand. Which is, I mean, we have Fusion Sage, so I don't think we really need to worry about that. What's a fusion support we could add? I don't know if I want to do, like, deployment. A fusion monster. Special... Yeah, I don't want to do deployment. What is something we could do with fusions? Can't think off the top of my head. Is fusion recovery in GOAT? It is not. We could do fusion recovery. This one, you add target one in your graveyard and one monster, and you add that to your hand. Recovery might be the one, because that's definitely has the spirit of old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Necrofusion. Necrofusion could be a potential as well. You have to banish stuff from your grave, and it cannot attack. Necro could work. Again, I don't think we have any busted fusion monsters that I can think of. Yeah, Cybernetic Revolution. That's basically GOAT in cyber format. What's destructive draw? I don't want to read that. Yeah, but I think Necrofusion and Fusion Recovery should be enough. We do have one more slot for fusion monsters, though. But I can't possibly think what we would want to add. Is there anything for, like, Blue Eyes we could add that would help it out that we don't have? I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Or, like, Red Eye support, maybe. Let's see here. What about Cybertech Alligator? It's a Wind Machine. 5 stars, 2500 attack. It's like another Summon Skull. Battle Fusion. When an attack is declared involving a fusion monster, you control an opponent's monster. Gains attack equal to the attack of the opponent's monster. That's kind of neat. You can kind of use Metamorphosis with it to get some advantage off of some other potentially weaker ones. I kind of like it. Red Eye Slash, that's a fusion. Twin Burst. Maybe. You have to control 2 Blue Eyes to the graveyard, which is kind of a little challenging, so that's a good thing in GOAT format. Cannot be destroyed at battle, that's fine. Probably won't be. You can make up to 2 attacks. When the card attacks an opponent's monster, but the monster was not destroyed, you can banish that monster. What do we think about Twin Burst? Is Twin Burst GOAT fine? You do have to control the 2 Blue Eyes specifically. You can't use a fusion sub with it. Although it is mainly just for like 2. I mean, you might as well attack with 2 blue eyes, right? Maybe. Tyranno. Superconductor Tyranno. He was also on the structure deck ones, right? I think that's fine. Given that we added like the other ones aside from Smorg, because Smorg is just really trash. I mean, it could, but so can a normal blue eyes just without banishing it. I don't know. Red Eye Slash. I think Red Eye Slash might be a bit much. A Red Eyes monster declares an attack. You can target one more. Yeah, that seems a little more complicated than I would like for a retro Yu-Gi-Oh! We got Red Eye Spirit and Goat, right? Oh, we don't. Maybe we had Red Eye Spirit. Because then you could, like, discard or give you another revival card. Yeah, I think that's good for that. Cyberblader. I don't think we have the materials for Cyberblader. Yeah, no, we don't have. Yeah, I think, was it Necromancer that mentioned Dragon's Mirror? Banish on field of graveyard dragon monsters. Yeah, that could potentially be a thing. Would be a good way to get out, like, some of these cards. Although I do kind of feel like you'd be more likely to get Twin Burst out over Ultimate Dragon. That kind of defeats the purpose of having Ultimate Dragon, isn't it? Especially to, like, go into Dragon Master Knight. Yeah, Red Eyes is all about potential. Do we add Dragon's Mirror? I originally wasn't sure if I wanted to. Now I'm kind of thinking about it. Dragon's Mirror. It does fusion summon. But it has to be in the field or graveyard, which is fair. You can't do it from hand. 27 likes. Can we get to 30 likes? Also, doing kind of decent in like total views. Kind of a little surprised. I was honestly expecting the stream to tank. A little bit. Also, I really should just get like a bigger bottle all the time because I'm constantly running out of water. Yeah, we do have 5-headed dragon. Yeah, that would be yeah, I feel like with 5-headed we kind of need Dragon's Mirror. So we're not done yet. We're not even close. We can cut all these. Let's cut these out. So now we have more room for cards. Yeah. Yeah, with Ultimate Dragon, unless you do Shining Dragon, I feel like adding Twin Burst kind of defeats the point of having Ultimate Dragon in the first place. Even if it might be fine in the format. What about... Part of me was thinking... Nightmare Steel Cage, but the thing that's keeping me away from that would be just having another stall card. I don't know if we really need something like that. Like, yeah, the controller can't attack either, but it's... I don't know. I don't feel like we need more stall cards. Sure, but I mean, not enough people are running Grenmaju decks. What about this guy? Archfiend of Gilfer. This card sent to the graveyard. You can target one face-up monster on the field. So it could potentially be your own if your opponent doesn't have any. And also, it's an optional. You can. Equip this card to that target and lose 500 attack while equipped. Another classic card. You cannot loop with it because that has actually been like an OCG ruling, so I assume it works the same. It can be rather annoying though, but it's not like everyone would necessarily be running it per se. First of the Dragons. First could be interesting. What do you think about Archfiend of Guilford though? You think he's fine enough? I think we're good on E-Hero fusions. I think we have a good amount. Phoenix Force would be kind of fun, though. I do really like Shining Phoenix Enforcer. I feel like if we had that, we'd have to add that, and I don't think we have space for... I mean, we could add them to, like, the side deck. I also don't want to add too many E-Hero cards. That feels a little bit too GXy, you know what I mean? What was it? First of the Dragons. So 28 likes, 28 likes. So 2 normal monsters, so you have to be running normal monsters. Can obviously by battle except with a normal monster. I don't know if other monster effects. Is that much for this time period? Because essentially it protects you from BLS at bare minimum. You can't attack over it, and you can't banish it with any of the chaos monsters. It has to be destroyed by like a back row card. That might be a bit. Archfiend's not in GOAT format. When was he released in GOAT format? I don't remember this. It's news to me. So Shonen Jump promotional card. January 2005. How have I never, like, heard about this? What the hell? I don't think I've seen a single person play this card, casual or not. What the hell? Thank you, Necromancy. Orgoth. Ooh, Dungeon Dice stuff. Orgoth, the Relentless. Dice cards, though. That's wild. See, this is what I mean. This is like one of those Streisand effects things. Like Panther Warrior and Black Chaos were non-GOAT format. Apparently Guilford was. Orgoth, main phase, roll a 6-sided die 3 times and gains 100 per the total. This is, if 2 of the results were the same, you can activate 2, apply the appropriate effect. If 3 are the same, apply all of these effects. I mean, we were correct to say it should be in GOAT. That's kind of sad, because, I mean, at least when it came out in the OCG, it was technically a little busted, but that was only in, like, local levels, because there was an incorrect ruling that made it a bit overpowered, but... yeah, it didn't see much play aside from, like, the first few months of release. Orgoth. So if you have 2 of the same results, depending on the number, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects until the end of your opponent's turn. Draw 2 cards, or it can attack directly. And if you have All three were the same. Do we add Orgoth? I think his effect is... It's honestly not bad. Like, he has the 2 tribute monster, and it's completely random. But you do have the potential to draw 2 cards or attack directly. Which, of course, I mean, it has no protection whatsoever, and you could also not get any of its effects. I say give the fans Dungeon Dice monsters. I know there were other dice cards that were recently released, like Dice Dungeon. I don't know if we want to add like the whole archetype though. Though Dimension Dice could be good though. Honestly, we could add like a light dice thing. If we do like that, and then what did Dice Dungeon do again? You can add Dimension Dice to your hand. It's activated and start battle phase. And adds a bunch of like wacky effects. Vengeful Servant. I'll take a look at that. So we already have dice reroll. I don't think we want to add summon dice. Honestly, yeah, we could just do like Dimension Dice and Dice Dungeon along with Orgoth. So the side deck is official. Like side deck moving forward, this is also going to be like official. Let's take a look at Vengeful Servant. Can we get to 30 likes? We're close. We're so close. Let's see. Yeah, Orgoth could be a very like cheeky casual card. Let's see. Equip spell. Oh, that's Command Knight. Nice. Just noticed that. When control of the equipped monster changes, inflict damage equal to its original attack to its new controller. Its effect seems fine. It feels a bit too iffy. I mean, I suppose if there's like... But no, it wouldn't work, because if it's like snatched up by 1,000 Eyes Restrict, this would go to the graveyard, because it'd be... right? Is that... I'm pretty sure that's how that works. How you play Go format. What's up, Ravs Kanar? Play Go format. You can go to duelingbook.com is a great website. Also, Darkwing, what's up? Hola, welcome to the stream. Glad you made it this time. Yeah, I think Vengeful Servant might be a bit too specific. Though I dig what it's trying to do, though. I do. So far, so good. So far, so good. Still need to figure out what that last fusion monster is. I mean, we could add more fusions, I suppose. It could be more E-heroes, but again, I feel kind of iffy adding more. I mean, honestly, Nova Master, I feel a little iffy. It's just like much manga GX stuff, but it's fine. What else do we want to add? What about Great Spirit? Turn to your main phase, flip the face down to defense position. When it's flip summoned, switch original attack and defense one face up Earth monster until the end of the turn. So you could use this for... I feel like you kind of need this with like an Exodia deck, right? Or with like that kind of style deck. Let's see here. We'll put... Let's move Orgoth down here. Other cards. We did not add Fossil Dig. Fossil Dig might be pretty good, though, in regards to... Because dinosaurs are pretty bad in this. What would you want to add? Like Dark Triceratops, Gillosaurus... What else would you add that's a dinosaur type? It's goat format, monster, and dinosaur. You could do Elementsaurus, Hyper Hammerhead. Yeah, with it, but giving them some searcher. That seems fine by me. do feel like we kind of need a little bit more dinosaur stuff. 'Cause I think the only thing we added was the conductor, which is somewhere. There it is. What would be some fine dinosaur support? I don't know about like Hydrogeddon. Hydrogeddon might be a bit too. I lost connection. Yo, am I still alive? The internet kind of pooped itself for a second there. Isn't my internet amazing? The hell? I'm still alive, right? The hell's going on? I apologize for this, everybody. Let's make sure everything is up and working again. We were talking about dinosaur monsters. Yeah, Hydrogeddon might be too overpowered. Ryza. Yeah, Caius would be. Yeah, we don't want to like overshadow any of the monsters. Don't want to do that. Goodness gracious. What dinosaur would we want to add to this? Like, I don't want to do like modern stuff, like a miscellaneous Saurus. Awesome. I am live. Cool. I was kind of freaking out because YouTube redirected me to like an old stream for some reason. I don't know why it did that. I don't know if I'm even able to like get back to my lost connection. Connect. There we go. Excellent. Yeah, so what dinosaurs do we want to add? This is kind of a tough one because dinosaurs are just usually kind of bad. There's like balloon lizard, maybe. That's not really like a dinosaur. But that has like the ultra evolution stuff. Should we just look up dinosaur monsters? Did you mention like we don't have a we don't have Sabersaurus. How do you spell Sabersaurus? We should probably add Sabersaurus then, right? As just a dinosaur that we don't have. What do y'all think about Sabersaurus? Ultimate Conductor. Well, we already have Super Conductor. I don't want to undervalue it. How do I get back to, like, the YouTube live page? It's customization, I think. No, I don't know. God, why doesn't this make this more easy? It might have to be Sabersaurus. Let's... Yeah, I think any of, like, the other, like, conductor stuff. What about Anthrosaurus? He's so cool. He's so chic. View live in control room. I think this is what I want. There we go, I think. Yeah, there we go. This is where this is the page I want to go back to. Excellent. Okay, we're back in action. Yo, 30 likes in that time. Hell yeah. Let's go. We have Rescue Cat, not Rescue Rabbit. We kind of discussed Rabbit. Decided not to add it. Black Stego could be kind of neat. Brachios could be neat. Could technically even do like Baby Ceratosaurus. Rabbit would be kind of busted. Oh, here's our last fusion. We can summon him. Brachioradius. At least one for now. Ooh, we could even do like Jurassic World, potentially. Let me just take a look here. Frostosaurus could be neat. Unfortunately, those aren't by... If something destroy a battle, that'd be a little bit more playable. Megalosmashal. I don't want to add Worm. I don't want to add, like, new type monsters. Dino Beast, potentially? Potentially do Dino Beast. Let me look up Jurassic World. We have Hyper Hammerhead. Yeah, I don't know if... Do we want Jurassic World? Does that help dinosaurs enough? See, out of these were three that I was looking at. I think Ancient Dino Beast at least has an effect. Well, you wouldn't be even running Switch and Goat format either. Not a lot of people are running Summon Skull anyway. Over any other tribute like Jinzo or Monarchs. But with dinosaurs, I mean, you can at least hit over a Monarch with this guy. And you can't search him out with Fossil Dig. What about these cards? I mean, we could keep all of these. Sabersaurus, Frostosaurus, Super Ancient Dino Beast, Jurassic World, and Fossil Dig, in addition to Conductor here. Is this a fair lineup? Should we remove, add any? Megalosmasher. I mean, 2,000 attack would be nice for, like, just to give dinosaurs something. I do I almost feel like normal beatdown skill drain decks would use it too, instead of like Berserk Gorilla. Like, do you think Saber Source is enough, or do you? Because I think Saber Source is good for like dinosaur cards. That's not. Mega Smasher might be a bit too generically strong. So you said Volcanic Eruption. Control Jurassic World, store all cards on the field. That might be a bit too overpowered. I don't think I want to add Destroyer on basis that I'm not adding any of the other discard searchers. Do we want to keep Jurassic World? I'm kind of on the fence about it. I don't feel like it does enough to really like help dinosaurs out because it's only 300. It's very weak. We've got better stuff later. Was it Lost World? Was that? Yeah, like we got Lost World in like later cards. I think at least these three, because at least you have like a strong attacker, that and this another one tribute that can all be searched out with Fossil Dig. Yeah, I agree with you, Goldstorm. I don't think we need more 2K level 4s. And then Dino Beast, at least it's, it is a 1 tribute, which is kind of weird why it wasn't just a lower level in the first place, right? And then if you special summon one from the graveyard with like, I don't know, Gillosaurus or something. I don't know. With I guess suppose any card. You can draw a card, which is some advantage. Not like you even have to run it. But I think that's a fair lineup of dinos. Plus like the conductor one, which has a solid effect. Right. What else do we want to add? Doomed. I kind of want to say no. I mean, maybe. Like, I know we don't have, like, Demise OTK in this format. You have to banish Insect. Like, insects don't really have a deck either. It wouldn't be a bad boss monster. Potentially. Inflicts battle damage, and it has like fair stats. Yeah, I think I can live with Doomdozer. He's not really running much insect monsters. Like I can't think of any good generic insect monsters in the game off the top of my head. What else could we want to? What else like would need support in GOAT format? I mean, I still have my whole list of potential cards. There's Magical Blast. We are not adding Crush Card Virus, I can tell you that much. Magical Blast, for 200 for each Spellcaster you control. During your draw phase, if it's in your graveyard, you can kill your normal draw and add it to your hand. That card might... I'm a little iffy. I feel like you could do some really cheeky burn thing with that, with Magical Blast. Firewing Pegasus. It is very OCG. Like, I feel like Firewing Pegasus and Sengenjin would just, like, some of the OCG prize cards would be really fun. I don't know if they... I kind of want them in just because they are such classic cards, right? Is this being too much? Trap Stun? I don't think so. Fish Depth Charge. Tribute 1 fish type monster. What are popular fish type monsters in the format? Target one card on the field. Destroy that target. Do draw one card. Yeah, what are some fish cards? I mean, maybe. That's a potential maybe. Judgment of Thunder. Activate when you summon a Thunder type monster. One card your opponent controls. That would be nice for like Thunder decks. I mean, it gives you some sort of just generic removal. They do have some Thunder cards like Nyan, Creator, Thunder Dragon. Thunder Dragon's Thunder, right? Yeah. And, yeah, but the prize cards aren't legal, though, right? Or are they? I think in, like, the... I don't think prize cards are legal, though. I could be wrong. Well, he's listed on here. All right. Kind of like Victory Dragon, I think is. Yeah, because like he's technically like available, but he's not legal. Hardened Armored Dragon. Well, Zalug isn't Thunder type, though. Hardened Boy. Send a high-level monster. Tribute to the 7-8 monster. It's kind of interesting. I don't know about it's like a free summon like that, though. Time Machine. That's a classic card. Right, when a monster is destroyed by battle into the graveyard, you can monster the same field it was on, same position when it was destroyed. I kind of like this. Kind of funny. Like, you destroyed my BLS by battle. Time Machine. Yeah. What's that Time Machine? So what's up, Vic Man? What's going on? It's a reminder that anyone who wants to give me a super chat, I'll put a card of their choice on here. Yeah, well, Victory Dragon has his own share. Well, it's more of OCG problems, but not so much in the TCG. The OCG has a million bajillion issues around this time. What was that other one you're talking about? Abyssal. King Shark. Yeah, it seems kind of okay. I mean, it's decent for like a water type. But it has to be destroyed by an effect. I feel like if it's destroyed by battle, that'd be much better. Battery men. I don't know if I want to add the battery men to this. Oh, Solar. Give me Thunder Dragon flashbacks. What are some other chords? I kind of want to add like Fortress Whale, but I kind of don't at the same time. Embodiment of Apophis. Magic Formula. Mystical Reft Panel. I lost connection, apparently. Let's see. What other cards do I have on my list? Fiend Sanctuary. Goddess of... What do you think about Goddess of Sweet Revenge? So you can't control any cards, and it can be the only card in your hand. Shiny Dino with the $2 super chat. Yo, let's go. Unfortunately, I don't think I can add Tyler the Great Warrior. Oh, shit, I can. Okay. Well, when it's destroyed, monster resolve battle and sends a graveyard inflict damage. Okay, so it's like a Flame Wingman. I guess it's on here. Wow. Metal Reflect Slime. That is true. It dodges that. I thought about Metal Reflect Slime. My only issue is it might be a bit too of high defense for like be really good for stall decks, like Stall Burn stuff. Yes. Anyway, Goddess of Sweet Revenge. There's only a few spots left for people who want to give a super chat. When you control no cards, and this card is the only card in your hand, and your opponent wants to attack, you can discard it, destroy all many cards as possible. Then your opponent controls. Then you can special summon one monster from your deck. This is like the absolutely last man standing card. Is this busted for GOAT, or is this like an absolute Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist card? Do we want to add Goddess Sweet Revenge? I see absolute meme. Sojima MX, what's up? I see a devil face. I mean, this is just Gyakutenu Megami, but revamped. Like, it has no real use otherwise. And it's like pretty much a dead card unless you have, like, you're absolutely wiped out. I'm just saying. Yeah, Abyssal King Sharks is immune to Torrential. Because that's if it's by effect, it survives at least one effect destruction. Now I'm kind of wondering what kind of like fish monsters are even in. So, Galaxy Type Dragon? What the hell? What are these? Never heard of those. I guess 7-colored fish. Amphibian Beast is the best one. We gotta give fish, like, a better monster, right? As one of the format's only hand traps. Yeah. Well, no, that's a lot of technically hand traps. I mean, you have Karibo. So Neko Mane King. Electric Snake. Charm of Shabti. There's actually like a decent amount. It's just no one plays any of them. Mac, yeah, I don't want to Mac yet. Feel like that's a little too specific. Hanawada, yeah. What's yeah, Hanawada. What's the pink one from the movie? That's not really a hand trap. I guess you gotta draw into it. So in a way. Crazy fish. We don't have Sea Salt attack, so we're not going to add that. Fly Fan. Oh, that's a cool looking card. Cyber Shark. Coelacanth. I kind of want to add this guy, but we don't have room. We only have one more space. We have one more card we can add. It has to be like a big one, I feel. Let's look at this Coelacanth thing. Alright, how do we spell it? This card, one card, special summons many low fish monsters. Yeah, that's probably a bit much. Wadapon, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that may be a bit much. I like the idea, though. Yeah, we have one more card we can add. It can be fusion, it can be monster, trap, spell, whatever. Ritual. We have one more spot to put in this lonesome right here. We have really been like going up. I'm bumping up the super chat to $5 if someone wants to fill in the last spot. But otherwise, we got to pick like a really big card for this. Yeah, unfortunately, charity is not legal, and we're not going to affect graceful charity in this. Gold sarcophagus. I can't add gold sarc. Just searching any card is too busted. Though I will say though, I am honestly kind of surprised how different this looks from what I was anticipating it to look like. At least from like the list I made myself of anything I could possibly think of. I can't do Gold Sark. I think the most memey thing I can do is Goddess. Aside from, Tyler, but that was a super chat pick. And of course, like Zero Manta I have to add. Of course. A lot of people saying Gold Sark. I'm not adding Gold Sark. That card is too busted. Like, it's an absolute power card. Especially in early Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't think we ever really quite added, like, a Blue Eyes card. Aside from Ultimate Dragon. Quite frankly, I don't know if there's any we could really add either. Unless we really want to do like a white stone or something. But that's a tuner. We can't add tuners. They're off the we just can't do tuners. They don't exist in this format. What is the last card? It's gotta be like an important one because there's a million cards we could just throw in. Like Mac-U. Or Destroy the Moon. No, I don't want to Future Fusion. That's also a bit too busted. Or was it Attack the Moon? Yeah. Change the gravitational forces. I thought about Neo Bubble Man. I feel like at this point it's too late though. That wouldn't be like a big pick. I don't think it's really worth it at this point. We're too far gone. It would be summonable. I wish they just gave us like a retrain, because I don't think Metamorphosis is probably ever coming back. I mean, maybe. It could. Honestly, I think I've talked about this at some point. Like, it probably could come back at 1. But yeah, it doesn't feel like that big card. I feel like we need a big card to finish this up. I just wish we had like a good fish boss monster. Like that feels like a good. That would be a good final card, right? At least in regards to like having fish monsters have something to use fish depth charge with. I just don't think we have the capabilities. Big Whale could be kind of neat. Yeah, no one would summon you, but its effect isn't like worth anything aside from looking cool. Do. That was a fun looking card. I like that. Treeborn Frog. No. No one said that, but I'm just speaking out loud. Yeah, fish is just really weird. I mean, aside from like Fortress Whale, which would be fun. Yeah, trying to think of something dark side. Minyaruka. We can add like any cards. It doesn't have to be just like around this time. I mean, we added like Monster Reborn, which is in the last few years. Rare fish. Oh, I know. I know the card. I know what the last card is. This is one like I actually want. Armed Dragon level 10. This big guy. Just send one card from your hand to the graveyard. Destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. It's essentially just a lightning vortex, but with a big body. The final evolution of the original Armed Dragon line, which is another card that I legit for a while thought was like in GOAT format. And I'd be hard-pressed not to add him in this list. Now, this is one and only chance. If you want to remove a card and add a card, you have to super chat me. It's your last and only chance. But yeah, I have to go with Armed Dragon level 10. I don't know how I didn't think about this card before. This is probably one of the first cards that usually comes to my mind when it comes to adding in cards to GOAT format. But I think it'd be fascinating. Like, it has to be special summoned by a level 7, which has to be a special summon. So it's a pain in the butt to get out, but it's definitely kind of a fearsome card. In terms of, like, you know, good stats, respectable effect, wind monster. Look at this list, though. Woof. Too bad we couldn't add, like, rare fish to this. I suppose we could if we really didn't want Brachioradius, but let's keep some dinosaurs in. You decided not to? You should have brought it up. I would have definitely have added it. God, sweet your friends. That's such a dumb pick. But you gotta have some fun, dumb stuff, though. Wargrim. He kind of does. He kind of does look like a final Digimon. Digilution, whatever it's called. This is a pretty good list, though. I mean, there's a lot of cards that are, you know, skeptically bad to skeptically good. Like, I mean, yeah, probably no one's going to add Baphomet, but, you know, you still has an anime spirit. There are a lot of cards from, like, the OCG to like, newer cards. I think it's kind of interesting. Yeah, this is actually really fun. I don't know what next stream is going to be, but if y'all like stuff like this, potentially we could do it for like a feature format if y'all can pitch me a good idea. Pretty much any good idea I'll probably consider. We only have one vanilla monster, though, Meteor Dragon, and that's also partially because we added Meteor Black Dragon. Again, I kind of wish we could have added a little bit more rituals, but rituals just take up so much space on this. And you have to add Black Chaos, and I have to add Zero the Mant. Fortress Whale would be like the only other one. Which, I mean, maybe if you wanted to cut like some dinos, potentially. Maybe like Fish Depth Charge. We could remove these two and add Fortress Whale. Potentially. But I don't know, I think this is a pretty good list. I'll have to like post on my like Discord or something. Exodia bosses. Well, we have Exod at least. I know he's not like a boss Exodia, but he's pretty close. Like Exod's trash. Like his best use is that he's a level 10, which only came up during like Ixie's era, Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, no, this actually was much better than I was expecting. Honestly, I was expecting it to be pretty like empty today, which honestly I feel like every stream I'm expecting it to be empty, but I'm surprised people show up. Yeah, I'm not super like I like Edison like a lot, but I haven't played it or been around it enough to like know off the top of my head like cards and or what would change, what would not change too much. Like, I could definitely sing like older formats for sure, maybe like a Yugi Kaiba format. But this is something I could keep up for many more streams. It's kind of like idea things because I've goat formats like my bread and butter. I feel like I would need like someone on the stream with me who knows Edison a lot more. And I don't really know anyone like that personally. And even like speed duels, I haven't really been keeping up too much with like the meta and everything. Like I try to watch stuff when I can. I don't know what other formats. I mean, we could even do like a goat format. Imperia could be kind of interesting too. It's a reptile. Summon, draw, and card once per turn. It might be a bit too generic for classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you can search it out. Like Sangan, summon, free draw. Which, I don't know. It might actually be like too good for classic Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, we can even do a thing where we look at like the ban list and see what cards we could like move around. But definitely have some fun cards. You still get that like retro spirit. I try not to do cards that are too complicated, while still helping out other stuff. I really do want to add Fortress Whale though. Yeah, there's definitely cards I can think of for Yugi Kaiba. Spoiler alert, where are you? Skill Angel. Okay, I really want to add Fortress Whale. What 2 cards do we remove for Fortress Whale? We have to do that real quick. Gandora. Maybe not Gandora, but Gandora is cool. I feel like it's a little bit too absurd. I have to make room for Fortress Whale. It feels weird not adding one of the boss monsters from Battle City. I'm kind of thinking Firewing Pegasus and maybe like potentially like Necro Fusion or maybe Vampire Hunter. I feel like Vampire Hunter kind of looks a little weird here. I think his effect's okay. Is Rhoda not at 2 in GOAT format? Am I mistaken? I could be completely mistaken. I can't think of everything off the top of my head. I'm only a human. Yeah, Rhoda semi-limited. What do we make room for Fortress Whale here? I don't want to get rid of Fish Depth Charge because if we're adding a fish, like boss monster of sorts, and then with that regard, I wouldn't want to give Judgment of Thunder because it does give something to Thunder monsters, I suppose. Firewing's a classic card, but also technically doesn't add anything to our list that isn't just like a classic card. Do we want to get rid? I don't want to get rid of God's Sweet Revenge though. I don't know if I want to do that. Ducker. I like Ducker too though. Ducker is. It fits like the bill of. One, we do have Gradius cards in this. Like we have Gradius and Option, and it does fit the bill of Ducker fit the bill of some sort of monster recursion that we really don't have enough of in this format, aside from reincarnation. You know. I feel like Swift Birdman Joe kind of it helps win monsters out in some regard. So I kind of want to keep that. I mean, Blue Flame Swordsman, I feel like does some fascinating stuff for the warrior deck. I feel like I'm kind of fine with all the dinos that are in. Maybe Necrofusion? I mean, we did add Fusion Recovery. But Necrofusion is pretty fair, though. Like, it can't attack the turn. It's summoned. Hey, Shiny Dino, thank you for the other super chat. Yeah, everybody can take out Tyler for a whale. If you're suggesting, I wasn't thinking about it because it was super chat. All right, moving Tyler and Firewing Pegasus. I wish, you know, do we kind of need? Why are there two fortresses? Oh, I guess the. Do what we kind of need though, like some sort of fire support. I feel like that's also kind of missing. No, I think the only one that would have been iffy to toss would be like Obelisk. If we toss Obelisk, we kind of have to toss the other two, and I don't think there's any point in that. And I did do a vote. People voted on keeping Obelisk. I feel like fire monsters, like that's another one that I think definitely needs something. If we could like find room for a fire monster, which I wouldn't know even where to start with that. Because fires are just kind of notoriously not really good, at least in like old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, what's like a good fire thing in GX? I mean, I suppose technically Flame Swordsman, but also it's kind of more of a warrior support than anything else. What would be beneficial to fire monsters? It doesn't even need to be like a monster. It can even be like Fire Formation Tenki, maybe? Maybe? So that's pretty metal. I don't want to add the Nephthys stuff. We could, but I feel like that's kind of cheating a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. Unless enough people are like, okay, fine, we can remove that. Abaki. What are your all opinions on just having these be the only like representation, like not using slots for these? Do you think it's cheating if we remove the ritual spells? I'd like to know what y'all think about that. Cyber Phoenix. Cyber Phoenix would be kind of... Cyber Phoenix would be kind of nutty. Because you can use it with machines as well. And you can use it with, like, UFO Turtle. Which automatically gets it out in attack position. And negates spell trap cards. target machine monsters specifically. And then when it's a battle, you can draw a card. So, what are we all thinking about the ritual things? Also, you can see my TV right there on the floor. I got a mount for it that eventually I'll put up in the next week. Shiny Dino says it's cheating. Maybe I should do a poll. Keep. Is it keep or what's the other word I should use with this? Keep or remove, I guess. So our poll for that. Cyber Phoenix is kind of interesting. I know it's kind of nutty in the trooper format it's in. Like troop dupe, machine dupe decks. Currently 50-50. I can be easily swayed with a super chat. Wink, wink. Dice Clops. Currently remove is in the lead. Dogron, no. I don't even, again, with fire, I don't even know where we would start with fire. Would it be pyro? Is that what we're kind of looking at more specifically? So what the hell is that? It's so cute. It's like a Pokemon. Getting more removes here. Fire Eye. Neat. I don't want to start adding barrier statues. I'm a little tempted with Inferno. I mean, technically speaking, Firewing Pegasus is a stronger fire monster. Flame Ruler could be something. Is he not in GOAT format? Oh goodness. Infernal Flame Vexen. Let me look up. Let's see. What was I just looking at? Flame Ruler. Okay, he is in GOAT. Okay. I was right. God. Anyone have any suggestions? Flame Spirit Ignis. Let me look at these real quick. And it doesn't have to be a monster. It can just be Vermilion Sparrow. Sparrow would be kind of fun. But we don't have whatever of the sword. Okay, Ritual Spells is currently at 50-50, 6 votes. Who's going to be the tiebreaker here? Let's see. You contribute 1 face of fire monster, 500 damage to your opponent for each fire monsters in your graveyard. I mean, it's not bad, but it's kind of more of the same pathetic fire cards. If we just look up fire, might be a little bit too generic. I don't want to start introducing Fire King stuff though. Hey, what's up, Chris? Yeah, Rosso kind of sucks. Unfortunately, he has They really hampered him down for some reason. I don't know why. Like, there's definitely a clear tier of their playability. Crimson Fire. Nope, that's covering. No, that's already exists. Curse of Dragonfire. Nope. Keep. Is this gonna be? Are we saying keep the ritual spells? Is that what we're going with? Dragon's Gunfire. Well, what does Circle of Fire Kings do? Well, the poll isn't over yet. Poll's still going on until I end it. Target one fire monster you control and one fire monster in your graveyard. Destroy the monster you control. If you do special, summon that other monster in your graveyard. That could be nice for fire cards. But the issue is, what are you exactly using this with? Like, maybe like Nephthys? No, Nephthys is win, right? Ay. And tanky only works with Beast Warriors, which isn't quite what we're trying to do. As our fire formation cards. Or we have Solar... Yeah, maybe Solar Flare Dragon. Alright, anyone still want to vote on this ritual spell poll? Going... Oh, 8 votes. Oh shit, it's back-tied. Back-tied. I think he's talking about using Circle of Fire Kings on Solar Flare Dragon. The problem is, it feels a bit too slow for like what fire monsters kind of need. Or it's like, yeah, you can set up your graveyard for something using like discards for higher, like stronger fire monsters. And it's definitely one of the better ones we've seen thus far. Yeah, the circle archetype. 8 votes for ritual spells. What are we all thinking here? Go Runics? No. Yeah, we can't do it. We can't have more Fire King stuff. Fire Link monsters. Maybe we do go with that Circle of the Fire Kings. When opponent declares an attack, banish one Pyro monster or negate the attack. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Alright, next person who votes is the deciding vote for this ritual poll. Let's see. Fury of Fire, Salmon Great cards. Kick Fire. Once per turn, when a face-up fire monster you control is destroyed by a card effect, place one counter on this card for each destroyed fire monster. During your either player's standby phase, you can send this card 1,000 damage for each counter. Kick Fire could be something too. We need one more vote for this ritual spell thing, and then I'll end it. Kick Fire could be interesting, because then you can potentially have some sort of burn thing over the game, and then... Like, it is technically pretty slow, but... Bats can be... Those counters can go up pretty quickly, if you just start UFO turtling stuff. That might be it. We need one more vote, guys. We can do it. Royal Firestorm Guards. This card is normal summon. Target 4. Is Royal Firestorm in this GOAT format? He is not. I could see Royal Firestorm Guard in this. It's very pyro specific, has decent attack, and you can draw. Okay, I'm gonna end poll. I'm gonna say let's remove them just so we can add these cards. Lone Fire? Oh, absolutely not. So let's remove this. Let's remove Zira and this. And then we'll just throw you down here real quick. Let's add this guy. Let's add Kickfire. Kickfire almost seems broken, right? Does it feel too broken in GOAT format? You're essentially, I mean, yeah, you're playing like a kind of a shit deck in fire. It has to be destroyed by card effect. So I guess that's fine. Okay, if it was by battle, that'd be something. And then probably circle the Fire Kings. Because that way we have a spell trap and monster for fires. We have something that can bring stuff back from the grave to draw cards with good attack. We have this card that can bring tribute stuff on field, but you get something potentially better from the graveyard. And you can only use it once per turn. And they have this card that if they get destroyed by card effects, you potentially get burn damage. I think that sounds fair. And we get to keep in... Yeah, we can add in like Fire Wing Pegasus, but whatever. The card was technically doing anything anyway. I think I'm happy with this list. Could there be some things changed or added? Sure. Also, what's up, Falcon for Falcon? We are not adding Future Fusion because some people have mentioned it. Very overpowered. It's either overpowered or underpowered, depending on which errata you use of it. But I think it's a pretty fair list, all things considered. Again, not what I was expecting it to look like. But I think we did a good job of adding like new cards that spice up the format without necessarily changing it, while giving other lesser played decks more support, like Rituals, Fusions, Spellcasters, Fire, even like Gravekeepers stuff. More heroes. Egyptian God cards, who would have thought? Cards that you probably would have thought would be in GOAT formats, of the Janjo GOAT format, anyway. I'm gonna say no for that, Nicholas, only because it doesn't. Yeah, it's like Circle the Fire Kings, but it's not specifying anything Fire King related, aside from like the name. Like its effect is only like just that card. And when it comes to fire cards, we have to pick something, right? There's not enough good like generic stuff, and anytime they release something that's a good fire, it's either something that's like a Beast Warrior or Plant or archetype specific like Volcanics, Hazy Flame, Salmon Grates, that sort of thing. So we kind of have to pick something here. Like Frost and Flame would have been cool, but it's way too unplayably bad. I mean, technically speaking, we're even adding like a manga GX card. All the other ones are like the anime stuff. I think it's a pretty good list. We get good like, we at least have more normal monsters than before, comparatively. Ojama stuff, Gravekeepers, Silent Magicians, Des Volts Golf. Yeah, this is like kind of a kick-ass list. I want to know what to start with deck building, but I mean, hey, if you join my Discord or if you're on there already, definitely like take a look at this. I'll probably post this on my Discord as well. So if everyone wants to like look at this in the future or something, maybe like I'll put like a download link somewhere for it. I'd like to see what other cards you would like to pick for it. I think it's definitely really fun. I like to see some Dungeon Dice stuff. Like that in Go format. Like it excites me to see, like, you know, obviously this isn't for like play, but this is just like theoretically Dragon Master Knight. Oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. That's pretty hype. Meter Black Dragon finally in this. Having a little bit more variety with your E heroes. Not just stuck with just